Asian Women Writers Festival kicks off this Friday. It aims to provide a new dedicated platform for female writers around the region to showcase their literary prowess. Visitors can look forward to meeting authors like Shobha, dubbed the Jackie Collins of India, and Shamini Flint, best known for her crime novel series Inspector Singh Investigates. And here to share more about the festival, I'm joined in the studio by Shobha Bhalla. She's Managing Director of India Media, which is organising the event, and Josephine Chia, one of the festival writers. Ladies, good to have you here with me today.
It's lovely to be here.
So Shobha, let me kick off the questions with you. A Women's Writers Festival isn't new specifically, however, it is the first one specific to Asia that's being organised. What was the motivation behind it?
Well, we were planning to do a Indian Women Writers Festival initially, and then I thought to myself, Indian women writers do have a better market than other Asian women writers because the publishing industry is more mature, is much stronger in India especially, and in South Asia generally. But after having lived here for so many years, I've noticed that we have tremendous talent, but our publishing industry is not strong. Right. And we've been doing this as India Say magazine. We've been having literary salons for 8 years. So we had a feel of the situation, we knew what it was, and we feel very strongly about women parity amongst women coming up and getting equality with men, their economic, social status getting pulled up and bettered, and we feel it's best through writing. What else?
Josephine, let's bring you in on the conversation. Shobha's mentioned there the difficulty that women writers have had, perhaps, to get the right platform that they need. What do you think the barriers are to that?
Well, being a woman is one very much in a life. I think the problem is that it's quite difficult for a woman to have a voice. Right. And I think that this kind of festival, hope to bring out that stronger voice for the woman. And so
when you say voice, Josephine, do you mean perhaps there isn't enough awareness about the quality or the range of writing that women are capable of?
That is correct, and also I think in Singapore, because literature is not a compulsory subject in schools, so we're not exposed to deeper kind of writing, and for the woman as well, when there is a kind of reticence about expressing themselves. So I think this sort of festival kind of try to bring that out in the woman and give them a platform. Well, men might complain and say, well, we don't have the same right as well, but I think that the women do need that kind of thing.
So ideally what you would like is to be able to create a type of even playing field, perhaps.
That's right.
How would a festival like this encourage that or foster that?
I think that it appears, in the world that if a man writes, he's much better, or he's more truthful than a woman, more marketable than a woman, and like I know of male writers, if they write, they don't have to look after the children or go to the market or cook or
nothing to dilute their interest and their focus.
Yeah. Yes. So I think there's that kind of disparity which we need to correct. And
very importantly, I think with East Asia and with Asia now becoming such a huge, gigantic economic force, it stands to reason that women should also rise to the top in terms of literature and culture, because you can't be an economic giant and a great force and be culturally desert. You know what I mean? You can't leave that part of your development unattached and what should I say, linked to your economic rise. It has to be together with the culture, because you can't divorce one from the other. And in all developed countries, in all developed civilizations, if you've seen, there are good women writers. And in civilizations which have not prospered and stayed and remained are those which have not had women's voices. Like even Greece had Sappho at its height, the lesbian poet. And Victorian England, when it started getting really strong and becoming the biggest force in the world, the biggest empire in the world. There were great women writers. They had stopped using male names as they did during George Eliot's time.
Yeah, they have existed throughout history, of course,
Yes.
and as you say, Shobha. So Shobha, you know, how do you anticipate this festival perhaps dovetailing with other festivals like the Singapore Writers' Festival, for
Yes.
example?
I think that's a very good point you brought, because the Singapore Writers' Festival is one of the most unique festivals in the world. It's actually in several languages, and that's wonderful for Singapore, and also because it does the unique dual purpose of bringing out aspiring and established Singaporean and Asian writers for the international market.
Ladies, I do wish you the very best with the Asian Women Writers
Thank
Festival.
you
very much.
Thank you so much for coming into the studios to share all of that insight with me, and I do.
Thank you.
know,
I hope you'll come on the
Thank you very much for that invitation. And on that note, I have been speaking there with Shobha Tsering Bhalla. She is the Managing Director of India Sen Media, and writer Josephine Chia. And Singapore's netball players